The 26-year-old goes for the Oilers. Last night stopped 34 of 35 in the 5-1 victory. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Wade is cock with a chance to get right back into it.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on with Jordan Eberle and Taylor Hall with Nick Schultz and Justin Schultz, no relation, on defense. And the Blues get it back for Pietrangelo. Comes to center and then smashed back in by Jackman. And a quick change by the Blues. And it's handled by Nick Schultz.
And you notice the Blues have got the pink laces or pink tape, as it's pink at the rink here tonight at Scott Trade Center.
And they put it all the way down. Hemsky takes a hit back of the goal from Shattenkirk. And now Hemsky again. Worked over by Shattenkirk. Shared on defense with Redden. Back of the goal, Gagne in front. Good coverage there, but the Blues get a stick in the lane, and Shattenkirk breaks it up, and here's Stewart away for the Blues. Down his off wing. Schmid back of the goal. Now he gives it up, and David Braun in there. There's Braun. Gets it near the line. Berglund, good job to hold it in. And now the Blues go off on a change. Oilers played in Dallas last night. Got to their hotel about 2 in the morning. It's the third. Oilers played in Dallas last night. Got to their hotel about 2 in the morning. It's the third game of a 9-game road trip. Hotel about 2 in the morning. It's the third game of a 9-game road trip over 17 days.
And again, well, they lost in overtime against the mighty Blackhawks, and then they turned around and won in Dallas, so 3 or 4 points.
And Vladdy's the bulk of a shot. Out there with D'Agostini in corner. Now Ryan Smith, the veteran, trying to split the Blues defense, but he was shouldered off the puck by Polak. And the Blues shoot it down the ice. And Ryan Whitney, who's been a healthy scratch for 4 straight games. Back defensively. On the forecheck, D'Agostini. Puck pops to center ice. And it's grabbed by Yakupov. A shot. And he hits the outside of the Blues goal. The 19-year-old, the first overall pick in last year's draft, Nail Yakupov, number 64. And back on the line, and he hits the outside of the Blues goal. The 19-year-old, the first overall pick in last year's draft, Nail Yakupov, number 64. And back on the line, a drive by Justin Schultz. That was tipped off the glass. And now recovered by D'Agostini. Hands it on to Russell. And the Blues get it across the red line and in deep. Adam Tuchel was first crack with the Blues this year. And his mom and dad are watching in Victoria, BC. Kept in by Pietrangelo. Now Pietrangelo works back to the goal. Here's Cracknell and a shot, and that goes right through a maze of players, and a glove save by Duplay.
Great play there by Adam Cracknell. He's got a wicked snapshot right there as we take a look at our Toyota keys to the game on this Friday night here at Scott Trade Center. And not the same exuberant crowd as we saw last night, but you've got to play for the guy beside you. They're going through a little lump on the road right now, and it's about what you're willing to do for your teammate. And tighten up in the neutral zone as well. Those will be some big keys in this game as the Blues will embark on a big road swing after this one.
Here comes Eberle, a shot. That goes high and wide. As Hitchcock told us in our meeting, we're in some rough seas right now. We got to bring the boat in.
No cavalry coming, huh?
I don't believe so. And Polak plays one to the corner for Pietrangelo. And now on to Oshie. Center ice for Berglund. Wheels into the Edmonton zone for Jackman, a shot. And that's blocked by the stick of Jeff Petrie. And it goes out of play.
The Blues coming into the 5-man unit on a line change as well. So good support by the man with the puck there, Berglund, in our Plaza Tire Service replay. Now he's going to utilize the left side of the ice, which is your weak side defenseman, Jackman, jumping up into the play. And although that puck gets deflected, you like to see the Blues come out up and back in 5-man units. And we'll see how this line gets going, too. Berglund and with Perron on his left and Chris Stewart on the right.
He held 21 shots last night, as Jared mentioned, and you can expect and hope that the Blues will get more pucks toward the net and more traffic in front of Devin Dubnyk. And that's chopped away, and we'll get a face-off back at center ice.
Well, for Ralph Kruger, who took over the reins for Tom Rennie, who's now an assistant coach with the Detroit Red Wings. Kruger in his first season got a feel for it last year, working alongside veteran defenseman Steve Smith, who had a great NHL career. But Kruger in his first season got a feel for it last year, working alongside veteran defenseman Steve Smith, who had a great NHL career. But there looks to be a very well-organized neutral zone team right now, and I think they've done a good job of getting Neil Yakupov on a line with two veterans, Belanger and Smith. And Yakupov's got some exciting game to him. He's got a good shot, good release, and he's a player that the Blues certainly will have to watch.
A shot into the glove of Dubnyk, and prior to joining the Oilers last year, Kruger spent 13 years
on a line with two veterans, Belanger and Smith. Sano Ralph spent 13 out into the glove. Well and ahead in the offer that they spoke with Mark Kruger is your about a possibility of becoming a coach, but Ralph Kruger is your head coach in Edmonton.
Here's Krachtel, a turnaround shot, and Krachtel's shot tipped on the way through. Krachtel 13 goals this year in Peoria.
He's got a good shot, and of course he's not the fastest player. He knows that, but he's always around. And of course he's not the fastest player. He knows that, but he's always around the puck. He's smart with it. Good play to get it back to the point. He protects the puck well. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he does have some very good offensive instinct.
His mom and dad, Pat and Pete, and Grandma Patricia watching tonight in Victoria, British Columbia.
You remember that journey they were on to see him play his first game at Joe Louis Arena? They had to fly from Victoria to Las Vegas to Phoenix to get to Detroit in time for the game, and he rifled one right off the pipe on his very first shift in the NHL. It was awesome.
But in 26 NHL games, has 4 goals and 8 points. Blues cleared back to center ice. And the former Blackhawk, Ben Eager, back to get it. He had a goal last night in their 5-1 win. Now Nick Schultz ahead, that's blocked it. Krachtel 13 goals this year in Peoria.
He's got a good shot, and of course he's...
So a turnaround shot
to becoming a coach. But Ralph Kruger is your head coach in Edmonton.
Here's Krachtel, a turnaround shot, and Krachtel's shot tipped on the way through. Krachtel 13 goals this year in Peoria.
He's got a good shot, and of course he's not the 6 minutes out there that they.
Shot tipped on the way through. Krachtel 13 goals this year in Peoria.
He's got a good shot, and of course he's not the fastest player. 6 minutes.
Opens the scoring. The Blues strike first.
Nick. He knows that, but he's always around the puck. He's smart with it. Good play to get it back to the point. He protects the puck well. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he does have some very good offensive instinct. But he's always around the puck. He's smart with it. Good play to get it back to the point. He protects the puck well. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he does have some very good offensive instinct.
Goal scored in March.
His mom and dad has some time.
6 sliders, 7 minutes, 57 minutes, 7 minutes, 42 seconds. Buzz.
Kicked 3 by Backus. On the cycle, Backus in front, rebound, and hammered away by Schwartz. And Dubnyk kept it out as the Blues went to the net with a vengeance there. It almost made a early dent in the twine behind Dubnyk.
Yeah, good job by Schwartz just to get there, get his nose dirty, get right into the blue paint on a good work down low by Oshie and Backus.
Schwartz again, a shot, and a pass saved by Dubnyk. Now Schwartz. Feet just in number 5, along with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Blues get it back, and the pass by Oshie is tipped to center ice, and the Blues have to clear the zone. Thrown back in by Bergman. Here's Braun off the bench. He gets to a loose puck. Chased by Nugent-Hopkins. Out high, Redden for Shatner. 5:35 gone, first period. Shots are 5-0 for the Blues. Played by Taylor Hall. That goes high. And back into the Blues end.
It's a good play by Taylor Hall there. He's obviously an offensively gifted player. They're in trouble in the road zone, but he uses the glass and gets it out of play.
Bergman in for Redden. To the side of the goal. That's knocked away with the stick of Dubnyk. Oilers get the puck up the left wing side. Jones to center ice, but now Perron spins it back in behind his own goal. Recovered there by Pollock.
Well, back-to-back good shifts, and that's what you want, is you want continuation, keeping the puck in deep and making sure you're all on the same page in that area.
And a shot by D'Agostini, and again another shot that gets through. As the Blues have just put a lot of pucks on net. They would love the first goal. Big first hit by Berglund. No score here in the first period.
Well, getting on the same page early on with the new left winger is essential for the captain, Dave Backes. And when you see the start here, here's Backes here. Now watch where he's going to end up on this play. So he supports it. The goaltender, Devin Dubnyk, plays it there. And now it's game on this cycle game. Very difficult to stop or eliminate Backes once he gets on that cycle. And then Jaden Schwartz, as our Plaza Tire Service replay shows it, driving hard to the net. And this is going to be trouble all night long because Jaden Schwartz is trying to get around Justin Schultz with Nick Schultz on the doorstep.
Again, no relation. Justin Schultz was a sought-after free agent out of Wisconsin, originally drafted by Anaheim, but never signed by the Ducks.
That was a loophole in the system right there. You feel bad for Anaheim. They obviously anticipated that Justin Schultz was going to be part of their future. And in fact, at one point, they made a trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs, sending the young defenseman there. But Justin Schultz ends up from a handful of teams picking the Edmonton Oilers, and boy, is he an offensive phenom. He's got great instincts, and the Blues are going to have to really watch him. The wingers are going to have their head on his swivel because he jumps in from the point position a lot.
Last year had 44 points in 37 games with Wisconsin. And here is Nick Schultz, former Wild defenseman.
Well, defenseman I was thinking of was Jake Gardner, that's now with Toronto Maple Leafs, and once a first-round draft pick of Anaheim.
And that's an icy call.
Yeah, you would expect, in back-to-back nights, a bit of a slow start, especially for Edmonton. They're in no hurry to do anything. Their goaltender, Devin Dubnyk's covered a lot of loose pucks. I'm sure the defenseman, like Nick Schultz, the veteran, is telling him, let's not keep the play alive here. Let's shut it down and keep the crowd out of this game for as long as we can.
That's been really cautious.
Nick Schultz, the veteran, is telling him, let's not keep the play alive here. Let's shut it down and keep the crowd out of this game for as long as we can. I'm sure the defenseman, like Nick Schultz, the veteran, is telling him, let's not keep the play alive here. Let's shut it down and keep the crowd out of this game for as long as we can.
Yeah, it's been really cautious. I've only been quiet. I think very, very quietly cautious maybe is the better word.
Quietly cautious. I like that, Bernie.
Here comes Jared Jackman. Good hard pass to Backes. He got drilled at that. He moves in a shot. That's not through, and a save by Dubnyk. As that was a pretty good hit behind the play by
Tire. It's an easy save for the number.
As that moves in a good hard pass to Backes. He got drilled at that. He moves in a shot. That's not through, and a save by pass to Backes. He got drilled at that. He moves in a shot. That's not through, and a save by Dubnyk. As that was a pretty good hit behind the play by Petrell on Jackman.
Yeah, Leonard Petrell, number 37 of the Edmonton Oilers. He finished his check. Jackman, of course, made the outlet pass, and then as he's making the pass on the left side, he looks, and bang, shoulder to shoulder, good hit right there. As he's making the pass on the left side, he looks, and bang, shoulder to shoulder, good hit right there by Petrell. And there's our Plaza Tire Service replay, the whip of the stick there of David Backes on that long shot. It's an easy save for the goaltender. I think Backes was looking for a juicier rebound than that.
With the face-off.
For the stick there of David Backes on that long shot. It's an easy save for the goaltender. I think Backes was looking for a juicier rebound than that.
With the face-off. Here is Redden. His wrist shot hit a body on the way through. Now Fractal in behind the Oiler goal. And somebody, I believe, either a hand pass or a high stick. And they'll bring the face-off to center ice.
Ken Hitchcock showing a lot of confidence early on in this fourth line. And the key to this fourth line is not just getting the puck in deep and having a little bit of a rotation in the offensive zone, but being reliable in their own zone. You can ill afford to have your fourth line be a minus line or spend a lot of time inside their own zone. And so far in this game, I think he's really looked good on this line.
Here's Shattenkirk. He's chased by Ben Eager. Nice play by Shattenkirk. On to Fractal, hands to Reeves. And Reeves gets it deep. Fractal after it against big Jeff Petrie. Up comes Reeves. Shattenkirk. He activates in from the right point. Now back to Reeves. Across for Redden. Redden a shot, and that's tipped wide by Fractal. And now Fractal gets it again. And now we get an interference.
Good chip.
75 interference.
Be a for
It's Whitney for Yakupov. First overall pick. There's Jones in front. First power play of the evening goes to the Oilers. Yakupov looks across, but Eberle is watched by Sobotka. And now back of the goal. It is Gagne right in front. Whitney a shot. That was blocked, I think, by the leg of Backus. And fired high by Backus. And that trickles down the ice.
Yakupov was going to get a delay of game penalty over on the far side. We haven't seen a player hold on to the puck that long for a while.
And he was eking himself, too. It was quite entertaining.
And you saw the numbers. The Blues have killed 10 in a row over their last 4 games. And 45 gone in the Reeves minor.
And you see the trust that Brad Shaw has in Chris Porter as well. On the penalty kill, he did a good job in the American Hockey League and here last year.
Now Alex Hemsky, what a move, and a save by Halak. I believe he got his arm or shoulder on the shot by Hemsky, who has wicked hands. Now across Hemsky again. Back for Justin Schultz. Schultz winds up, fires it, left hand save by Halak. And it's Pollock to the corner for Porter. And Chris Porter out-muscles an Oiler and clears it away.
Boy, you cannot get caught looking at the puck with Hemsky, that's for sure. Boy, did he ever give Roman the old 9 of hearts right there with that nifty little toe drag.
Oh, Banger was unbelievable.
And maybe off the goalpost as well. Now Justin Schultz. And a cross and a drive by Nugent Hopkins. Missed everything.
That's 2 good scoring chances that if indeed Hemsky's missed, and that one right there, those are 2 quality chances that they missed the net on.
Yeah, I thought Hemsky's was just up over the top of the net, yeah. But what a move. Holy man.
It was like a ball hockey game.
I mean, he went from, it was amazing.
Blues have killed it off. They allowed 2 shots on goal. It's still scoreless. Here's Stewart. At the line now for Berglund. With one back of the goal. Reeves in a battle there with Schmid. And Reeves emerges. For Pietrangelo, the blast, and a pad save by Dubnyk. With a Berglund screen. I mean, he was right in Dubnyk's kitchen.
That was a smart play by Pietrangelo. Eager doesn't get in the shooting lane. Pietrangelo changes just a little bit, and he's able to get a good tough shot on goal.
Now the Blues on the attack. D'Agostini in deep for Perron. Here's one off the puck by Schmid. D'Agostini knocked a man down, got away with it. That was Petrie who gets up. 9:15 to go in the first period. Shots 8-2 for the Blues. And we're 15 to go in the first period. And now we're covered by Sobotka. Pollock tries the other side. That's tipped in there by Perron. Dubnyk will brush it back to the goal rather casually for Nick Schultz.
Yeah, I thought he was going to cover it up, and I think his defenseman did as well.
Hammered in by Hemsky. And the first man back is Wade Redden, who's been a healthy scratch for 3 straight. He takes Cole's spot in the lineup tonight. Now Shattenkirk. Tic-tac-toe into the zone. Tipped by Sobotka. Gagne back. Throws it off the boards and back to center ice. And Rugby scrum near the Oiler bench. Blues get it. Backus. Schwartz to Oshie. Back to Backus. The drive, and a one-timer was just wide. And now Oshie to the line for Redden. That shot tipped just wide by Backus. And now for Schwartz. This line has shown some early chemistry. First ever appearance in the game. Redden a shot, and again it's blocked in front. And then a cross-check by Gagne, and that will be called. As he cross-checked Schwartz to the ice. And the Blues will operate on the power play in a scoreless game.
Real good give and go there with this all WCHA college line, and James Schwartz looking good so far. They're feeding off one another. Backus plays it back to Redden. Redden twice in this game has had a good job of getting it through, but that one blocked by Gagne. Doesn't seem like much, that little nudge. 2 of the smaller players in the game, but Jaden Schwartz doesn't embellish it, but obviously your skates are rockered, so anytime you get pushed from behind, you're going to fall forward, and that one didn't seem like much, and I know that Gagne was frustrated, but He puts the cross-check in on him from behind.
Those power plays struggling of late, 0 for the last 13. But they remain second best in the league at 28.8%. Here's Oshie, hands on a pass. Oilers get it, and they clear it. The Oilers on the kill, very good. Fourth best, 87.4%.
That's not unlike the always reliable TJ Oshie with that kind of play. A simple play moving it to his right, just rolled off his blades.
Pietrangelo in for Oshie. He'll drop it off for Perron. Sets up on the half boards into Oshie. Flips it back for Pietrangelo. Thought about shooting. Now a wrist shot. Hit by Backus. Not a lot of busted on that one. Oilers shoot it around the glass, and it trickles to center ice.
And keep in mind, the Blues are without 3 players on their second power play unit, with still Tarasenko out, and obviously Steen and Andy McDonald.
Perron trying to drop pass. Instead, drags the puck back to the right point. On this Blues power play. To the front for Pietrangelo. To Shattenkirk. Blues had too many men there and really got away with it.
They had too many men for an extended period of time.
Was at the blue line, skated off, and there were 5 other guys on the ice. And now we get a whistle.
Well,
now he called the too many men, guys.
Yeah, but how did he call it this late?
I don't know. Maybe he heard you guys.
No, there were still 6. Stewart was still on the ice.
St. Louis bench minor for too many men on the ice.
It happened twice. Am I not mistaken? Bernie, I think it happened twice. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in front of the net. That was the first time. Now watch Sabotka as this rolls along. Sabotka says, we got too many men on the ice. Watch. He goes off the ice. There's no call here. The play went on now for an extended period of time. Came back out again. And they did another line change here.
Yeah, two.
Not 3 bench minors with too many men on the ice on improper changes after special teams. And this was during a power play, not after the power play. And as you said, they did it twice.
Unbelievable.
So we go 4-on-4. Here comes Oshie. And he lost his speed, and the Oilers get it back. And Eric Belanger. Now picked up by Redden. In 10 seconds, Gagne returns, and the Oilers go back on the power play. Shattenkirk now for Sabotka. 2-on-2. Trying to go wide against Justin Schultz. Now Sabotka. And a man cutting. That was Pietrangelo. Now he gets it to him. The shot. And it was blocked out high. And it comes near the goal and swatted away by Dubnyk. Now the Oilers are the power play for the second time tonight. As Gagne gains the line for Yakupov. Under pressure from Pietrangelo when he gives it up.
Good pressure there by Pietrangelo, and David Backus knew exactly where Yakupov was going to put it, and he picked it off easily.
And a shot by Backus, goes wide, got Nickel back of the goal, and creates some havoc behind the Oiler goal. And now it comes ahead for Yakupov. To Eberle. He is a superb playmaker, is Eberle. The Blues break it up, and again it goes down the ice.
Yeah, Eberle's got some really good hands, but he's not a guy usually that does what he just did right there, and that is, while with the man advantage, trying to one-on-one a player right inside the blue line.
Now 22 to go in the power play. Long stretch pass for Hemsky. He'll tip it back for the goal. Shattenkirk gets there. Oilers recover to the line, and Whitney cannot hold it in.
Boy, Whitney's been a storm of controversy and conversation with how often he's been scratched, a healthy scratch. 5 of the last 7 games, including the last 4.
And now the Blues have killed it off. No Oilers shots. They're 0 for 2. And Oshie has it. He doesn't clear it. Nugent Hopkins kept it in.
Berglund's stick was broken. He's trying to use his skates to push it over towards him.
Now it is Petrie. His shot. And that was blocked by Oshie. And the Blues get it back. They've outshot the Oilers 8-2. But we're scoreless. Oshie now for Berglund. And he gets the red line and sends it in. Last year, the Blues won 3 of 4 against the Oilers. Winning both at home. As a matter of fact, they've won the last 5 at Scottrade against Edmonton.
And 9-2 in the last 11.
Now Justin Schultz. Rather casual pass there. Picked off. Perron snaps it back in. Dubnyk can't stop it. And then run around the far boards by Petrie. Oilers to center. Belanger now for Justin Schultz. Angles one to the corner. Here's Leonard Petrell, number 37. He's run off the puck by Jackman. Stewart has it, can't clear it. Now Petrell back on the goal.
Shows a big body right there.
Chased by Jackman. Turned over, and Stewart up the middle. And he's got a partial break. And a shot, and it goes just high as he had to hurry the shot. He did good speed there.
Great job of pushing the puck ahead, getting it the last second. No, he's not going to be able to stick handle or bring it back on his blade very much. And he just flicks it just high over the blocker side.
Now the Blues, after the change, Adam Crackle is after it along with Reeves. 3 minutes left here in the opening period. Nickel trying to hold it, and he can't. And now recovered at center by the veteran Nickel. Oh, that shot from Nickel on the dump-in may have hit Crackle up high, and we get a whistle on that offside. Under 3 to play, opening period. Blues and Oilers are scoreless. Blues and Oilers are scoreless. No score late in the first period. Let's head downstairs between the benches for this Bommarito Automotive Update.
Well, Banger, you talked about Chris Stewart, about how smart it was. Just use your one hand, push the puck forward. That's a lot of times you don't need a stick handle, and certainly Chris Stewart shows this here. Just getting the puck like it, just using the one hand, stretching out, and then getting a good shot away. Unfortunately, it went up over top of the net, but good work. You don't always have to stick handle the puck. You can push it ahead. As long as you get there quicker than the defenseman, you're in good shape.
You can skate a lot faster if you don't stick handle, right, Bernie?
Yes, you can.
As the Hitch said last year, you can't dust off the puck all the time.
Here's Taylor Hall, a pass in front, tip, rebound, and Schultz, I believe, knocked it in. Or somebody. Hall was there as well, and the Oilers take a 1-0 lead. Here's
said last year, you can't dust
faster if you don't stick handle, right, Bernie?
Yes, you can.
As the Hitch said last year, you can't dust off the puck all the time.
Here's Taylor Hall, a pass in front, tip.
Yes, you can.
As the Hitch said last year, you can't dust off the puck all the time.
Here's Taylor Hall, a pass dust faster if you don't stick.
He's been fighting off on the corner, far side. He snaps this game against Minnesota's goal at 17:30. Suspended for 2 games for that knee incident against Minnesota's Clutterbuck. I nearly screwed that up.
I didn't know where you were going with that one. Here's Whitney, a shot, he scores! 2 quick goals. Then Ryan Whitney is buck.
I nearly screwed that up.
I didn't know where you were going with that one. Here's Whitney, a shot, he scores! 2 quick goals. Then 30.
Suspended for 2
year first in 5 games. The goal at 17:30.
Suspended for 2 games for that knee incident against Minnesota's Clutter high in the offensive zone, had a chance to back
in 28.
That is thrown certainly the conversation of trade suggestions.
Blues fire it down the ice with 90 seconds left in the first period. Schmid fires one off the far wall. Covered now by Russell. So Hall and Whitney scored 23 seconds apart. And Backus, he'll twist one into the Oilers zone. And on the forecheck is Schwartz. But the Oilers get to it, and Sam Gagne works one to center ice. Now Hemsky, into Jones, who was behind the Blues defense. And again, an outnumbered attack there for Edmonton. Final minute here in the first period. Oilers back on the line for Schultz. And a shot by Justin Schultz. That was blocked. Quickly now to Backus. He moves through the neutral zone. Now Backus to the front. Petrangelo in the area, but it was knocked away. And now the Oilers and Hemsky around Perron. Partial break. And a save by Halak on a breakaway by Hemsky. Good save with 2D up in the play. David Perron, the lone man back, and he gets beat to the puck by Hemsky, the tricky forward. Good save by Halak. And now Sam Gagne, that drive back against the grain and a save by Halak. These are quality scoring chances that the Edmonton Oilers are getting. Bernie, you'd like a handful of those, wouldn't you? Going left to right or right to left in the high slot?
This is just getting way too scrambly. I mean, the Blues really now all of a sudden lost their composure, and now all of a sudden the floodgates are opening.
Here's Taylor Hall, drop pass, and that will do it. So the Blues played pretty well for the majority of that period, but the Oilers get 2 late goals. Hall from Eberle and Schultz, and then Whitney get 2 late goals. Hall from Eberle and Schultz, and then Whitney from Smith and Yakupov, 2 goals in 23 seconds.
We saw that last night against the
Smith and Yakupov, 2 goals in 23 seconds.
We saw that last night against the Chicago Blackhawks, 12 seconds in, and a goal being scored on the rush from the defensive zone of Chicago right to the goal melt scramble that was scored by Taves, and here we've seen it, an explosion of sorts for consecutive shifts by Edmonton, and that's a big save right there by Halak.
So it's 2-0 after 1. Let's go to Jim Hayes.
All right, a couple of goals in a span of 23 seconds, and the Blues are down 2-0 after 1 period of play. Span of 23 seconds, and the Blues are down 2-0 after 1 period of play. Here's what's coming up in the Sapod GM Country Intermission Report. We'll check out our Bud Light What's on Tap. We'll look ahead at the Blues' upcoming schedule. They're on the road for 5 straight. We'll take a look at high school hockey. CBC and SLU High are set to battle for all the marbles. Plus, we'll check in with Bernie Federko as well. We'll get Bernie's take on the first period of play. Right now, Blues in a bit of a hole. They're down 2-0. Oilers lead it after 1 period of play. Back with the intermission report after this. You're watching Blues Hockey on Fox Sports Midwest.
But they can't find the back of the net, and then they give up 2 goals on the rush late in the period at 23 seconds, and they're down by 2.
Yeah, they're looking for that break early on. They had a couple of good chances from the point, and Devin Dubnyk made a couple of good saves, especially through traffic. They had a couple of good chances from the point, and Devin Dubnyk made a couple of good saves, especially through traffic on those points. But obviously, in transition, the Blues have got to do a better job of defending the rush. It's happening far too often, and obviously you need that third man high. You need that third man coming back hard. The Blues last year established themselves as one of the toughest teams in terms of back-checking. But we have a moment right now as the linesman's fixing up the crease of Devin Dubnyk for our first bank first take. And here are the Edmonton Oilers. And the high draft picks. Neil Yakupov obviously had an assist in that period. Nugent Hopkins was first overall in 11. Taylor Hall first overall in 2010. PRV, Eberle, and Gagne also high picks that have developed into good players. PRV a healthy scratch for this game.
And a shot by Hall is off the side of the goal. Blues Hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Underway in the second period. Oilers with a 2-0 lead. Pass to center for Eberle. And that's played back in. And it's offside. Well, Card Spring Training is underway, and Fox Sports Midwest is bringing you more coverage than ever. We'll have an all-time high of 10 spring training games starting March 14th, and the season preview report starting March 17th. Card Spring Training coverage brought to you by Fairmount Park is on Fox Sports Midwest. There's Dubnyk. Plays one to the far side. One is in on the forecheck along with Stewart. And Berglund, the other member of that forward line. Now Berglund out near the line. He gets away from a man. And a drive got through and a save by Dubnyk. And then Stewart put the rebound wide. And the Blues after it. Stewart comes up with it. Out near the line. Now to the corner for Perron. And Perron worked over by Petrie. And then Berglund and Gagne engage in a battle. Now Perron spins, trying to find an opening. Here's Perron. Wanders out high. Takes the spot of Shattenkirk. Fires it back of the goal for Berglund. Good offensive shift here by the Blues. Berglund in front. And a shot by Shattenkirk. Hit a leg on the way through. And now Chris Porter gets free back of the goal. Now Porter to the front. And Hemsky stripped him of the puck off the boards, but kept in by Sobotka. And now Porter. The Oilers have not had a change in the Blues now with their second offensive group on the shift. D'Agostini a drive. And a save by Dubnyk. And they get the whistle with a big scramble in front.
Well, when you're 6'5", like Devin Dubnyk is, you're able to cover a lot of real estate, even going down on that loose puck right there. That was 1 minute and 16 seconds of zone time in the offensive zone for the St. Louis Blues. And something we became accustomed to last year was one line after another, keeping the puck in deep and making it difficult. Ladislav Schmid falls awkwardly on his goaltender. Some good puck support there. Berglund strips the puck, and now he's in a pretty good spot. Fires it in there, just gets through right there in the rebound. But there's Wade Redden on the doorstep. By that point, the third man high in the offensive zone went for a line change. Sabotka comes off the ice, and they keep that rotation going, giving the Edmonton Oilers plenty of fits in their own zone to begin this second period.
And now Sabotka will take the face-off. He is between D'Agostini and Porter. Face-offs were dead even in that first period. And Belanger, a very good face-off end, wins it for Edmonton. And then chipped in by Ryan Smith. Here's the lock up the far side. And Belanger steps in, back on the line. Hammered to the corner by Theo Peckham. And now Russell gets it away from Smith. And Chris Russell to center ice. And that's off the glass and now into the netting. And they'll break the face-off to center ice.
A bad break there for the Blues as they get the puck in deep. It hits the top of the dashboard, comes up over top of the glass, and then into the netting. And we'll see what...
There seems to be a lot more junk, Tanger, in this period. There seems to be a lot more junk, Tanger, in this period. I don't know what was said after the first period, but certainly there's a lot more jump, a lot more energy on the bench right now.
And I would think, Bernie, and you and I are just experienced of being in that situation before, that it's not a coach that comes in and likely says something after that period. It's the players' ownership group in that room.
Yep.
You would think that sparks the debate where the coaches sits back and says, are they saying the right things in there? And if they are, just let them say it.
Now the Oilers on man rush. Petrell in with Whitney. And Petrell a shot, and he whistled that one high on a 2-on-1. And now Cracknell deep in his own zone. Redden for Shattenkirk. And then back to center ice. Shot around by Cracknell. In on the forecheck against Justin Schultz. Centers it, then played it back at the drive. And a save by Dubnyk.
That's a wicked snapper there by David Backes, and it was right in line under the bar and in, but Dubnyk just comes out, another first-round draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers, who is now blossoming into a number one. Good pressure there by Cracknell getting in there on Schultz, and then a nifty little backhand pass by Adam Cracknell. And the more he plays like this, the more he's going to get on the ice.
And a shot by Jackman. That hurt Taylor Hall.
Oh, did it ever.
He goes off. Really off the hand as Backes gets the puck to the corner. Shot around by Nick Schultz, and the Oilers do tip it away.
And Hall got that right in the, it was upper arm, like almost the shoulder, John. Right above the elbow, I think. So he was hurt.
It was a blocker save, huh?
Yeah, without moving the arm. It was a natural blocker shot.
Now it is Sam Gandhi on the back check. Schwartz breaks it up, and the Blues have numbers into the zone. On Feroci, cuts in a shot. Schwartz is right. He scores! Jaden Schwartz! And the Blues shot.
It's a thing, so he was hurt.
It was a blocker save, huh?
Yeah, without moving the arm. It was a natural blocker shot.
Now it is Sam Gandhi on the back check. Schwartz breaks it up, and the Blues have numbers into the zone. On Feroci, cuts in a shot. Schwartz is right.
Blocker shot.
Now it is Sam Gandhi on the back check. Schwartz breaks it up, and the Blues have numbers into the zone. On Feroci, cuts in a shot. Schwartz is right.
He was going to play it to the... Jaden Schwartz gets added to this top line. He's got his billets from when he played in Nebraska in the USHL. They're here on hand tonight.
Second of the year.
Take his stick off the ice.
And that cuts the Oilers. Now Perron to Russell. On for Stewart. It's the Oiler line. He'll chip it by Schmid. And then back on the goal for Perron. Leaves it for Berglund. And then tipped on to Stewart. Stewart centers it, but the Oilers break it up. Good job there by Jeff Petrie. And here come the Oilers. Yakupov 4-on-3. Yakupov pulls up to the fronter shot. Up in the air, and that's gloved by Halak. And he belts it down for the whistle.
Well, we've seen the Blues do this, and I know it's frustrated the players and the coaches, turning the puck over just inside the blue line, and Hemsky's got it there, and you see the backside pressure by Schwartz. He starts it off by hounding Hemsky, and then it goes the other way. So Schwartz starts it off defensively, and then he ends up capitalizing on the goal that makes it 2-1.
Good work in the defensive zone usually leads to good work in the offensive zone. And Blues trying to get a break there for a change, too, as that puck bounced right to Schwartz.
What does Hitch like to say? You've got to check the score.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Fractal to the line. Shattenkirk a shot. Off Eager, and Eager's off to the races. Look out! Hit a lock. Gambles and wins. Halak came up large there. He beat Eager to the puck. And now he gets a stick back.
He looked like Dominic Hasek coming out of the net like that. Good stuff.
He barely beat Eager to that puck. And that got the crowd into it here.
I haven't seen Yarrow skate that fast.
He's got pretty good wheels. Look out here. Jordan Everly with it. And the backhander goes wide as the Blues get sloppy here. And now Redden up the middle. And this goes all the way down and will go on net, so no icing.
Well, those are exciting moments as a goaltender. Really, if you hesitate at all, you've got to stay back. But if you're on your toes and you read it right away, then you can go. But I've been embarrassed a ton of times by making the wrong gamble there.
Great pass by Jackman into Schwartz and a backhander and fought off by Dubnyk. Kept in by Pietrangelo. And his shot hit a leg, goes out of play off Taylor Hall. And we'll get a face-off in the Oilers' end.
That old saying, when in doubt, get out. Well, for this kind of play here, Yarrow Halak's got a decision here. Am I going or am I staying right here? And he decides to go for the long poke check on Ben Eager, number 55, trying for it. And then good hand-eye coordination by Shattenkirk to bat it out in midair. Fractal then swipes his stick right back to him, and it's off to the races. Pretty exciting moment right there.
Well,
Kevin's dad is in the house tonight as he was last night watching his son play over the weekend.
Papa Shaddy, huh?
Really nice man. That goes out of play. 14:05 left.
Twitter handle
Second period.
Pop Stat Deuces.
Well, it's March 1st, and that means madness for college basketball. But before the big dance begins, check out Missouri Valley Conference Tournament action once again. It will be held at Scottrade March 7th to 10th. And individual game or all session tickets are on sale now at the Ford box office. And the Oilers step into the circle after that face-off. Here comes Hemsky. In with Jones, and a shot by Hemsky hit a leg and went wide of the goal. Off the boards, Porter trying to get there with Sabotka. 2-on-1 now. It's Sabotka to Porter, and the pass was elevated, and Porter couldn't knock it down. That was a hard pass to handle. And Gagne back. In for Hemsky. Jackman blocked the pass, and then brushed along by Pietrangelo. Oilers pinching, they get caught again. And the Blues, Porter in for Sabotka. In front, and he was turned the wrong way and couldn't get it from his skate to his stick.
Two plays there, one by Sabotka over to Porter. Originally, it was just too high for him. If he had a lacrosse stick, he could have handled that first one, and then that one there was just behind him. So two pretty good opportunities squandered, but good speed going towards Edmonton's net.
Maybe too many men, Bernie. I believe we got a call from the linesman down there. Schwartz is second. Has cut the Oilers lead to 2.
It looked like you guys controlled most of this first period, and then you give up a couple of quick goals. What did you tell the guys after the first period?
Well, we got to keep doing the things we're doing well, but we can't get beat back up the ice. They've got some odd man rushes because we tried to be a little bit too on our toes with F3, and they burn us a couple times. So we're going to get scoring chances if we just stay disciplined with our third forward.
Thanks, Hitch.
And the Blues get another bench minor for too many men. Oilers 0 for 2 tonight. I thought at first it was against Edmonton, but the Blues was one to get nailed for another bench minor. That's the 5th in the last 7 games. Hard to believe.
At 6:41, up to serve by number 25.
Backdoor feed for Nugent Hopkins off his leg and out of play.
Well, let's go back to it again and just see exactly how obvious it is with this.
Well, there's got to be lack of communication because everybody's told who's going for who, and I'm shocked that this could happen. And actually, it's the third time it happened, Panger, because it was the last time it happened. They had twice that they had too many men on the ice.
And a Blues short-handed, but Berglund goes just offside. And that
To be clear and concise and let everyone for two of the power referees with that into the extra man. Blues are struggling so goals, but you can't trick these referees with that into the extra man without calling your goalie.
Sam Gagne back in from the corner. Pollock back there, but Gagne was on his own side of center ice.
That's the way you defend them, Bernie. You throw 3D out there.
Okay. The waters are rough, Panger.
Take it on water.
Get the sail down right now.
Here comes Ryan Whitney. He scored the Oilers' second goal. Sabotka gets center ice. Steps in front of Whitney now, grabbed by Yakupov. And he pulls up on the half-court. Drops it off to Whitney. And then Yakupov again. He goes back to the left point now for Eberle. In for Gagne. Jones screens in front. There's Gagne. 20 to go to the power play. Eberle out of the corner. Gagne looks in front to Jones. Shot and a save by Halak, and it goes off his stick and out of play.
Good save there by Jaro Halak, pushing from his post to the top of the crease, getting his stick on that one. They were looking for Yakupov to Yaro's left. Yakupov right here, a left-hand shot. This is what they're looking for there, but there's no option, so they played to Jones. So good alternative there on that nifty little pass by Gagne. So you have two options right there. The backdoor play to the one-timer to Yakupov, or you've got Jones right there in the front of the net. Pretty good scoring chance.
Now, I think the defenseman, which would have been Shattenkirk there, is going to go down to that puck carrier quicker, Panger. You can't let the guy set up there and have two options. Pollock's taking away the one option to slide through through the crease, but you got to get to that guy as quick as you can.
Oilers killed it off. They allowed one shot on that power play. They still trail 2-1. Now Pietrangelo for Stewart. He'll scoop it in. He goes after it. And Stewart swirls back of the goal now to the line, and the Oilers break it up, and here they come. And the speedy Taylor Hall. And run to the inboards by Pollock, picked up by Eberle. And Schmid had to contend with a bouncing puck.
And that puck just exploded on him right inside the blue line. Boy, that Taylor Hall goes into dangerous areas fast, doesn't he? He went in there on the inside of Roman Pollock and just got his edges there before going skates first into the boards.
Yeah, he's not afraid at all. And after taking that shot in the arm, too, I'm surprised that he's back this quickly, too.
Now Petrell, number 37, that pass hit a stick, goes to Schwartz. He moves in, Jaden Schwartz, a shot! And a save by Dubnyk as Schwartz almost had a second. And then he's buried in the corner. And a penalty coming up here as Schwartz is down. The Blues come in. They did not like that hit, and the arm went up, and now the Blues, trainer Ray Borelli is out there.
Ray Borelli got out there awfully fast because everyone's always certainly concerned when you're facing the boards and you end up getting drilled into the boards right there. Schwartz just has a great scoring chance, so they'll be careful in getting Jaden Schwartz off for a line change there. Here's Schwartz coming in now with the puck. So a quick little shot going to the short side. Now he turns and spins. Let's see if he turns at the last second. He kind of does. He's going one way and then makes a little turn. Keep your eye on this here. Going one way here, now he turns. And by that time, Schmid is committed to his hit and is leaning into him in the, from behind. And it's not a violent push, but Schwartz is trying to turn on a dime. I'm not sure what else Ladislav Schmid could do right there.
Yeah, that really was quite harmless, too.
Yeah.
There was no way that he was going to get hurt on that either. He was just kind of pushed.
Pollock got caught in a very similar play a few games ago. And a boarding call to Schmid. The Blues get their second power play. Trailing 2-1. Hall and Whitney have scored for the Oilers. Schwartz for the Blues. Now D'Agostini in for Sabotka. He works in a shot. And the right arm of Dubnyk got up in time. Now Sabotka back for Shattenkirk. In tight. Stewart. Sabotka back to Shattenkirk. He scores! Shattenkirk! And even tipped, and it's 2-2. For Sabotka scored for the Oilers. Schwartz for the Blues. Now D'Agostini in for Sobotka. He works in a shot. And the right arm of Dubnyk got up. The boarding call to speed. The Blues get their second power play. Trailing 2-1. Hall and Whitney have scored for the Oilers. Schwartz for the Blues. Now D'Agostini in for Sobotka. He works in a shot. And the right arm of Dubnyk got up in time. Now Sobotka back for Shattenkirk. Now D'Agostini in for Sobotka. He works in a shot. And the right arm of Dubnyk got up in time. Now Sobotka back for Shattenkirk. In tight. Stewart.
Or maybe it goes off the defenseman Pete.
This is going to be Shattenkirk.
Now lays it back to Sobotka. By Shattenkirk, who could
that did it. General manager.
Always being a hockey game is playing again. Hockey game right here. Keep in mind a couple of saves that Jarro Halak made. That race for the puck on Eager. And also the save on the power play where Jones has it right in the slot.
Now it's Yakupov into the zone for Belanger. Chip one to the corner. And now grabbed by the Blues. Wade Reddish. Shot in the game. 16-8 for the Blues. And Berglund. He'll send it all the way back to the goal. Dubnyk plays it high on the dasher. And this will squirt to center ice. And then Berglund back for Reddish. Shot to the period 8-1 for the Blues. Now Redden, far side. Bounced over the stick of Oshie. And played by Peckham. Changing the puck to center. And then gobbled up by Pietrangelo. His pass blocked. And a 3-on-1 into the zone. Everly to Hall. Right in. And a diving play by Pietrangelo to break it up. As he atoned for his own error. And now Schwartz in for the Blues. That shot. Hit a stick. Goes to the corner. Picked up by Backus. Back to Pietrangelo. On to Schwartz. Schwartz a drive and a blocker saved by Dubnyk.
Boy, Schwartz has got a good release, doesn't he? You can tell that he's got a confident player.
Here's Ben Eager again. And a backhander. Halak handles that. Eager's got pretty good speed down the right side there.
Sign of a great player, though, when you cough up the puck like Pietrangelo did trying to go to the backhand, you don't quit on the play. He got himself right back in, and he's able to nullify a 3-on-1 break.
Now, Chris Van de Velde, number 54, broken up by Russell, and he's off to the races. Here's Chris Russell. He'll filter one in the corner for Sobotka. Oilers have it, but Russell kept it in. And now it is muscled to center ice. Russell again steps up. Then is hit by Van de Velde. And back to the Blues line. Then Polak. He lost the battle with Van de Velde. With under 6:40 to go in the second period. Russell, long stretch pass for D'Agostini. He waits. He's got the big shot. Lets it go. And that was blocked by Peckham. And now Gagne back to center ice. 3-on-2. Whitney gets the drop pass to Jones. A shot, and that may have hit a body on the way through.
Boy, Whitney's been good at jumping into the play, hasn't he? Made some good plays. Scored a goal in this game. There he makes a nice pass, and another excellent save by Jarro Halak.
And again has been a healthy scratch for the last 4 straight. Here comes Schmid the other way. In for Gagne. Oilers leading score with 19 points. But Nickel for Reeves tipped along now to Cracknell. And Cracknell at the line, and he makes the safe play. Reeves in on the forecheck. But Hemsky emerges from the corner. And kept in there by Nickel. A good back pressure there by Scott Nickel. And Schmid will slow it down for the Oilers. Blues wrapping up a 3-game homestand. And they begin a 5-game road trip Sunday afternoon in Dallas. 2 o'clock start. Belanger at the line, lost it. Perron gets it back to the Blues. In for Stewart. He goes wide and a shot. Big rebound to Berglund. And Dubnyk made the save as Berglund with a pretty good rebound attempt there.
A pretty good shot from a sharp angle for Stewart actually to have that go off the pads perfectly. And you got your
turnover. Yakupov, and he blasted that one wide as Berglund couldn't handle that hot pass in front of his own goal.
That was from the forward tee there for Yakupov. Wow.
Was it ever?
That was a nice Pro V1X right there, wasn't it, Bernie?
Yeah, I got too much spin on the X1.
And he had the wedge instead of the 3-iron, and it shot it high. Now the Blues to center Backus. He was stripped. And Everly comes in for Edmonton. Everly a shot, and that was wide by a couple of feet off the boards. This game really opens up. And now Backus. Too far for Schwartz. Oshie thought Schwartz was going to get there.
Yeah, Oshie didn't want to get caught. He wanted to be the third man high. Schwartz thought Oshie was going to take it.
And now Pollock steps in to Schwartz. To Oshie a drive, and he put that one high. Now in the slot, Oshie with it. And off his skate from the stick, but he lost the handle. And now Ben Eager in the corner, right into the referee. Schwartz gets it back to the Blues. Deep slot for Sobotka. And then back for Shattenkirk. To D'Agostini. Rolls it in deep now for Sobotka. In a 2-2 game. Sobotka on the cycle. Here's D'Agostini a shot. That didn't get through. And then Porter jams it back to the goal to D'Agostini. Looking for some open space. Now for Sobotka. Can't muscle in front.
Good support there by Porter.
Now Porter for D'Agostini. Throws it back to the goal again. Sobotka, plenty of time. He's in Fedorko's spot behind the net there. Using the net as the decoy. Players don't do that enough, do they, Bernie?
No, they don't. Need to dump that to the front of the net, though.
Back on the line now to Shattenkirk. His shot doesn't get through.
I'm getting dizzy watching these guys cycling into the boards. Bernie, we got to put the net in the corner.
And there's 0 shots on goal. A lot of offensive zone time, but nothing to the net.
Yeah, a lot of good support. They're getting the puck down deep and tiring out Edmonton, which is the key for that line. They did a good job led by Sobotka.
Under 3 to play here in the second period. Blues have scored both goals in this period. Outshot the Oilers 11-3. Now Berglund for Pietrangelo. Stretch pass for Perron. Handed on to Jackman. And that goes around the end boards. Controlled by Gagne. Back for Peckham. Pass tipped along by Ryan Jones. And now the Blues get it back in here to center ice. Back is for Oshie. He wanders in. Oshie, little head fake. And then chased to the end boards by Sam Gagne.
Gagne did a good job on him defensively right there. He read that play, and Oshie ran out of real estate.
Whitney one-hands it back to the goal. Right in there for the Blues. And around to Backus, not cleared. And Ryan Smith picks it up. Here is Smith, the 37-year-old, for Yakupov. Out high, Petrie across for Schmid. Looking for the bank play, comes in front. And the Blues in the right spot. Schwartz down to center ice for Backus. And late on a shift, he'll dump it in.
Good position there by Schwartz. He didn't go chasing and running around. Puck ends up right on his tape, moves it right over to Backus, and they're out of their zone.
Schwartz looked pretty comfortable on that top line tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's had the most jump in his step that I've seen in a while from him. I think he feeds off one another. And the one thing that has been talked about is he's a left-hand shot. And if with David Backus, that enables, a guy going forward and putting the puck instead of behind him in front of him.
Now Reeves, he wins a foot race. Reeves back for Pollock. Long shot, hit Nickel on the way through. Now back of the goal. Cracknell makes a good play back for Russell. And Russell's shot was elevated too high. And the Oilers up the middle now to Jordan Everly in the final minute here. On for Nugent Hopkins. To Everly. Hard shot. And a save by Halak. He bobbles it a bit, but then covers it. To Everly, hard shot, and a save by Halak for Nugent Hopkins. To Everly, hard shot, and a save by Halak. He bobbles it a bit, but then covers it. 53 to go in the period. Shattenkirk has tied. 53 to go, then covers it. He bobbled the largest teams, and as part of the event, team members and breast cancer survivors sign a banner, which tonight is placed right behind the Blues bench. And thanks to all of you for your continued support. And I have a chance to help out at that event teams. And as part of the event, team members and breast cancer survivors sign a banner, which tonight is placed right behind the Blues bench. And thanks to all of you for your continued support. And I have a chance to help out at that event every summer. And in our team, the Blues in Midwest, it gets bigger every year, Derek.
Yeah, it does. And Fox Sports Midwest, they do a phenomenal job. But why wouldn't ever?
Hopkins, member of the 14th Fund, and the event team member Well, fans, as you know, I did his first goal. To Eberle, hard shot, and a save by Halon. Bobbles in a bit, but then covers it. 53 to go in the period. Shattenkirk has tied it his first goal in a dozen games. 53 to go in the period. Shattenkirk has tied it his first goal in a dozen games. 53 to go in the period. Shattenkirk has tied it his first goal in a dozen games. It's 2-2. Well, fans, as you know, tonight is Pink at the Rink night. Each summer, the 14th Fund and Fox Sports Midwest partner to sponsor one of the event's largest teams. And as part of the event, team members and breast cancer survivors sign a banner, which tonight is placed right behind the Blues bench. And thanks to all of you for your continued support. And I have a chance to help out at that event every summer. And in our team, the Blues in Midwest, it gets bigger every year, Darren.
Yeah, it does. And Fox Sports Midwest, they do a phenomenal job. But why wouldn't everybody? Someone close to you, someone you know, has been affected by this dreadful disease. So whatever you do to chip in and help out along the way.
Now the Blues in this 2-2 game. Oh, it's just offside. Boy, that looked pretty good to me from here, but they ruled it was offside.
It was close. I'm always amazed at these linesmen and how good they are, and for the limited amount of mistakes that these linesmen end up making, it gets so magnified because generally speaking it results in a goal against or something like that. But boy, they are sharp and they're on it. You see with that whistle that Ken Hitchcock throws out, back speaking it results in a goal against or something like that. But boy, they are sharp and they're on it. You see with that whistle that Ken Hitchcock throws out, Backus, Oshie, and Schwartz with 38 seconds to go in the period.
And the Blues control the face-off. Here is Schwartz. And he was turned away by Peckham. Eberle back the other way for Edmonton. Puck in front, but Jackman with it for the Blues. Now Backus ahead for Schwartz. Out of Colorado College is Jaden Schwartz. To the far side, Backus on the forecheck. Now gets some help from Oshie. Here's Oshie back of the goal. He comes in front. Back to Jackman. Jackman to the front. Schwartz backhander. And a save by Dubnyk. Now Oshie again. 5 to go in the period. Blues can't center it. And that will do it. And a superb second period for the Blues.
Yep. Good start by Jaden Schwartz, doing a great job on that line with Backus and Oshie. He scored his second, and then Shattenkirk pounded one home on the power play. Sabotka getting a helper, and this game all tied up at 2.
Shots in that second period, 11-4 for the Blues, and after 2 periods, they've outshot the Oilers 19-11. Let's head over to the Bud Light Zone and Jim Higgs.
Yeah, guys, this place went from real quiet to real loud real quick. The Blues get a couple of goals in the second period. They tie it at 2 apiece. Coming up on the Jack in the Box intermission report, we'll take a look at our dirt cheap hit, see if somebody's giving somebody else the business. Plus, we'll hear from our Hall of Famer, Bernie Federko. And Bernie will give us his take on the second period and what lies ahead for the Blues as they get ready to go to the third period. The Blues having their way with the Oilers in the second period. Goals by Jaden Schwartz and Kevin Shattenkirk. In fact, Jaden Schwartz, who got the Blues on the board, has the headsets on and joins us now. And Jaden, what a difference in that second period. What changed for you guys? Thanks for the time. Go get the Jack in the Box intermission report is straight ahead. The Hall of Famer, Bernie Federko, will join me right here on set. We're tied at 2 after 2 at Scott Ray.
It is 2-2 after 40 minutes of play here at Scott Trade as the Blues look to wrap up this 3-game homestand with a W. John and Darren back in the broadcast with the Blues with 2 goals in that second. Real good, but Darren, they still gave up a few too many odd man rushes, as Ray Bennett said during that intermission.
You know, and all the great goalies in the game find a way to battle through it. And there's times in the game, regardless of the score, that can result in a big save. And, you know, when the Oilers scored 2 goals in 23 seconds, it's a 2-0 game late. Now it can be a 3-0 game, and Hemsky comes driving in. Jarro goes paddle down, makes that save early. Then in the second period, he comes out acrobatically and nullifies what could be a breakaway. play, and then another golden opportunity on the power play. So it enabled the Blues to get back and claw their way back in this game, and now they've got themselves a game because Jaden Schwartz got things going, and then Shattenkirk scored on the power play.
And Schwartz has led all players tonight with 6 shots on goal. As we go to the third period, tied at 2. Blues this year would even after 2, a record of 3-1-1. Edmonton is 0-4 when tied after 2. It is Stewart, Berglund, and Perron for the Blues. As Gagne steps in for Edmonton. Between Hemsky and Jones. Underway third period. And the Oilers control the draw. And that is flipped too high, and it goes out of play.
Well, we talked about that all WCHA college with 3, so it has paid dividends, and it has been the best overall game, certainly, that Jaden Schwartz has played. He looks sharp on that line.
Now the Oilers back in their own zone. That's lobbed ahead by Hemsky, and on the back check, Stewart stolen from Jones.
That puck just won't lay flat, will it?
There the Oilers. Jones tips it in. And Shattenkirk is the first man back for the Blues.
The puck doesn't even look like it's frozen, Tanger. It looks like it's like soft rubber.
I totally agree with you. And you can really tell. I think some fans don't even realize that these pucks are kept frozen, and by being frozen, they lay flatter on the ice, and they're not so bouncy.
And that's kept in by Pietrangelo. He walks right in a shot, and Dubnyk makes a great glove save on Pietrangelo, who waltzed in on right wing.
Another good play, though, by Schwartz on the boards. And Schwartz, a good, quick, alert play, getting it over to Pietrangelo after Pietrangelo didn't bail out on the line. He's got such confidence holding the line, and because of that, he's got help behind him, and now he jumps into the play, tries to go high to the short side. Difficult to do with the big, tall, 6'5" Doobie-Doo.
Who wears number 40. An iconic number for a goaltender.
I'd say wonderful number. All the greats wore number 40.
Blues win the faceoff. Russell a shot.
Rogatien fast shot.
Yes, he did with the Detroit Red.
Pietrangelo. He walks right in a shot, and Dubnyk makes a great glove save on Pietrangelo, who waltzed in on right wing.
Another good play, though, by Schwartz on the boards. And Schwartz, a good, quick, alert play, getting it over to Pietrangelo after Pietrangelo didn't bail out on the line. He's got such confidence holding the line, and because of that, he's got help behind him, and now he jumps into the play, tries to go high to the short side. Difficult to do with the big, tall, 6'5" Doobie-Doo.
Who wears number 40. An iconic number for a goaltender.
I'd say wonderful number. All the greats wore number 40.
Blues win the faceoff. Russell a shot. But kept ahead. And the Blues get it back.
He might have to go to Dobbs.
1 hour, 9 minutes, 57.
Chip it away. Russell swapped one ahead. D'Agostini blew a tire. But kept it moving ahead. And the Blues get it back.
He might have to go to Dobbs. Need to do tread.
Always nice to get the sponsors a nice mention like that. And Russell on for Nickel. And then to Pollock in some heavy traffic, but the loose puck is grabbed by Russell. And Chris Russell negotiates his way to center ice. Russell from the tiny town of Caroline, Alberta. A couple of hours south of Edmonton. Fractal on the board, back on the line, Jackman. Over for Pietrangelo, and a shot. That was blocked. Right to Stewart, who didn't know where it was. And then Stewart is taken down by Peckham and behind the Edmonton goal. And then Nickel on the forecheck. Ties up Petrell. And a shot by Fractal got through and a save. Oilers try to clear it. At the line, it does come to center ice and then push back in, and now the Blues make a change on the fly.
Ken Hitchcock really preaching funneling pucks towards the net. And I tell you what, Fractal takes that advice. very well. Good save right there with the right pad on Hemsky, but Cracknell, every chance he gets, he is not hesitating to put the puck on net.
Now the Blues come in. Stewart, that shot was blocked. And now taken by Berglund, back for Shattenkirk. Toward the goal, that's blocked. And the Oilers out the other way. Hemsky lobs it in off a Blues player. Turned to the corner by Halak. And now picked up by Damon Perron in a 2-2 game. There's Perron. Trying to hit Berglund down low. That bounced on him. And Vladislav Schmid for the Oilers. And then twisted onto center ice by Sam Gagner.
Pretty good hoister there by Gagner, using the glass and then going for a line change there. But you do not count these Edmonton Oilers out of it. They've got some players that are absolutely dynamic and explosive. Got to keep the foot on the pedal here.
Now Schwartz. Oh, great pass in front of Backus, snapped it wide. Now Schwartz again. Right in front. Oh, he is there, and he can't get it on goal. Boy, I tell you, Schwartz has been the Blues' best player tonight. Yet already a career high with 6 shots on goal after 2. And he has been around the puck all night long.
A little wraparound on his backhand right there, falling to his knees.
Now turned over, right to Schwartz. He looks for Backus, finds Backus, cuts in, and a backhander. And a save by Dubnyk, and then Nugent Hopkins lost his stick. Weathers eager, gets hit by Backus. And then Russell comes in, but that pass tipped away. Back to center, walked back in by Polak. Now to Porter. One shot blocked. And now the Blues working on the far side for Sobotka. And Vladdy Sobotka wanders back to the cage. Now a shot. He scores! Sobotka! That pass tipped away. Back to center, walked back in by Polak. Now to Porter. One shot blocked. And now the Blues working on the far side for Sobotka. And Vladdy Sobotka. Now to Porter. One shot blocked. And now the Blues working on the far side for Sobotka. And Vladdy Sobotka wanders back to the cage. Now a shot. He scores! Sobotka's
And it just goes off the goal. Man, how did this get in? It looked like Dubnyk had it. It just goes right through him. But again, the team doing a better job of funneling pucks towards the net, and they're being rewarded for that now.
Sobotka's second of the year, first in 14 games since he scored the overtime winner against Minnesota. And the Blues lead for the first he robs David Perron. And the Oilers come back. Here's Gagner. Trying to get free. Runs into Berglund, and now Berglund off the boards. And the Blues have 3-on-2 to center. But Stewart late on a shift. We'll just dump it in.
Does Dubnyk ever come back with a bounce-back save after that shot by Sobotka squirts underneath him? That was a brilliant save on Perron, who just has to get that up. And instead, the big pad comes swallowing that puck up.
As you would say, doobie-doobie-doo with that save. And now Nick Schultz, number 15. Long stretch pass to Nugent Hopkins. He pulls up, trying to hit Yakupov down low, but Oshie got back to break it up. And the Blues have it. No clear. Nugent Hopkins in front. Here's Everly. And a backhander is fought off with the left arm of Jaro Halak. And the Blues shoot it down the ice. And Nick Schultz was traded from Minnesota for Tom Gilbert. Now it's Yakupov. Twist one back for Schultz. Cracknell and Porter with the assist on the goal by Sobotka at 4:28.
Good for Cracknell, and he's played strong, and so they make the change with he and D'Agostini, and Cracknell gets a point.
And now Sobotka out of the corner, and a shot right on goal, and a save by Dubnyk. And then Polak from the line. That shot failed to get through. And then Polak again. He wanders in. Red shot. Off a stick to the corner. Porter recovers. And now for Cracknell, using his big body back to the Edmonton goal. And then Polak comes in. Here's Polak, backhander. And that didn't get to the front. The Oilers played off the boards and out.
Great chip by Roman Polak. The big boy from the Czech Republic, moving his feet, keeping that puck in the zone, and because of that, the Blues end up getting a couple of more chances.
Hey, you mentioned Cracknell. with an assist tonight now with 9 points in 27 NHL games.
Come in here and fit in quite nicely.
I like what you said, Tanger, about him shooting from
everywhere.
Sharp angles. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and he's shooting it hard, too, at the net. I mean, Dubnyk has let in a couple of, maybe questionable goals, too, so keep shooting it.
Now the Blues to center ice, Stewart. Hackett steps up on him. And now Eberle comes in for the Oilers, one-on-one. Now waits for some late help. To the line to Peckham, a shot. And that trickles just wide. Comes back in front. And Jackman in the right spot.
That went off the big boy, Petrell, right in front of the net. Just dribbled by the glove side of Halak. Nearly went in.
11:45 left in the third period. The Blues with a 3-2 lead. The go-ahead goal by Sobotka at 4:28. And it's Ryan Whitney, number 6. Now for Schmid, long stretch pass. Here's Hemsky to the front, or rather Gagne. That was through the goal crease area. Schmid held it in. Now for Petrie. Gagne on the wing, a drive. That was blocked by Shattenkirk's stick. And the Oilers again on the cycle. Here's Hemsky around the goal. Right in front. Doesn't get it on Halak. Now Hemsky. And his shot tipped wide. And then Schmid could not hold it in on the left point.
Big break there. That was some good sustained pressure by the Hemsky line with Gagne as the center iceman. But the guy to watch here as this game goes on is going to be that Justin Schultz, the defenseman. He'll be jumping into the play in all situations as Edmonton's going to put a push on here.
Now Eberle pass to the deep slot. And there's a shot right on goal. You mentioned Schultz, and there he was. Good call. Justin Schultz had walked in. And the Blues with it in. Fired to center ice by Oshie. Back in for Eberle. Eberle a shot. Didn't get through. Blocked by Russell. And then Oshie run off the puck in the corner. Oilers have picked it up here in the last 3 minutes. And now Sobotka starts back to center ice. And off the boards and in. As he pressures Nick Schultz. Now Porter helps out. In comes Ryan Reeves. And Reeves to the corner. Reeves gets it back for Porter. Blues in the midst of a line change. Now Nickel trying to get away from his man. Nickel on the cycle for Reeves. Picked up by Cracknell. Now Cracknell stops and starts on Justin Schultz. Cracknell gets it free to Reeves. Back for Jackman. Off the inboards. Comes right in front. That was a set play. As Jackman did not have a shooting lane. Now the Oilers go for a bad line change. Pietrangelo a drive and a save by Dubnyk on that 35-footer by Pietrangelo. A drive and a save by Dubnyk on that 35-footer by Pietrangelo. And a break in the action. 9:37 to go. Sobotka has put the Blues up 3-2. Trying to make it 21 in a row without a regulation loss. An amazing run by Joel Quenneville's club.
Unbelievable. That coaching staff has done a great job there in Chicago.
Now the Blues who lead 3-2. Ron Berglund and Stewart up front. Oilers get it back and Theo Peckham has it.
You think that Jack Adams is heading over that way?
Coach Quenneville won it, I believe, in 2000. Here's a drive by Belanger right on goal. By Halak. That shot was tipped on the way through.
And a little change in the lines here for the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, Ralph Kruger, because we have not seen Taylor Hall return. So not on the bench, not at this particular point. So a little change up there in rotation. And Belanger with that shot, he's looking for Eager to drive hard to the net. And that nearly handcuffs Halak, but he squeezes it off. Interesting thing about Jaro Halak, he wears all that white equipment. And Jaro Halak spent all morning, he loves to have his equipment nice and clean. And he doesn't like it when these pads get dirty. So he gets the oil out and he just was rubbing this morning and making sure that they look nice and spotless, thinking they look sharper and they look bigger when they're all nice and white and clean. That's a meticulous goaltender.
Yes, it's not Snow White though.
And a try right on goal by Petrie. And that was turned away by the clean white pads of Jaro Halak. Kept in Schmid. Off the corner glass. Jones was in the area. Now Schmid pitches in, runs Oshie down. And the puck trickles back to center ice. And now it is Jeff Petrie. So to the former Tiger pitcher. Oilers come up the middle. Hemsky.
David Backes had a chance there. Having to go right through Hemsky. Kind of laid off there, didn't he?
Now Backes to center ice for Schwartz. And Jaden Schwartz sends it in. Both clubs make changes on the fly.
Yeah, and now D'Agostini rejoins the line of Sabocha and Porter.
And Nugent Hopkins can't get it deep. Petrangelo back to center. Nugent Hopkins again. In for Justin Schultz.
Every time the puck gets into that offensive zone, Schultz and gets on the ice on a line change there. He nearly caught them by surprise again. But the pass was off the mark.
And that's an icy call. Well, Blues fans ever want to take a ride on the Zamboni or participate in one of the intermission games? Well, now you can simply check out the Fan Zone page at stlouisblues.com and sign up.
You were once a Zamboni driver.
Yes, I was at Creve Coeur Ice Arena in Castle Oak here in St. Louis.
With the legendary first bank Joe Ambrose, I believe.
Yes, he was my boss. And he went from a Zamboni driver to the president of first bank.
And you got stuck with me at Bernie. What happened there?
Oh, I hit the lottery. You know that. Now Nugent Hopkins back in for Edmonton. And that goes wide. Yakupov fires it in front. And Justin Schultz in for Eberle. And then the Blues shoot it around the boards. At the line, Nick Schultz kept it in there. Eberle back of the goal, squeezed off the puck by Stewart. And the Blues recover. On to center ice now for Petrangelo. Gets to the red line. 7:07 left in regulation time, and the Blues up 3-2. And one-time trail 2-0. The goals from Schwartz, Shattenkirk, and Sabotka. There's the Blues up by 1. Rifled in by Theo Peckham. Russell up for Nickel. And then Nickel is shouldered by Ben Eager. Now Belanger trying to go to the line. That was blocked. Centered in front. Oh, and Eager was behind the defense. Now Eager gets it. And out of midair, it's swatted away by Nickel. And it goes all the way down. This will be an icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eager's right in front of the net on a bang-bang play. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Focus on the slot on the left side of your screen there. Roman got caught a little bit high, but he made up for it, getting back quickly.
Off the face-off, Hemsky now for Whitney. Great pass in front. Gagne's wide open. Back for the slot. No one was there. Gagne really should have shot that.
What a pass by Whitney again. He has made some excellent plays with the puck.
Now leads around to Cracknell. He was belted from behind. Oilers get it back. And then Peckham's shot was about 4 feet high. And then Hemsky. Because of that icy call, the Blues couldn't make a line change. And now they're running around here. Oilers get it. Back on the line again for Whitney. Jones back of the goal, and then Russell steps in front of the Oilers player to break it up right in front of Hemsky, and now it's finally lobbed away by Cracknell.
Quick read there by Russell, and getting right in front of Hemsky. Otherwise, you give Hemsky a little bit of time, he gives you the 9 of hearts.
Speaking of the 9 of hearts, Eberle almost gave one to Redden, but a poke check by Halak. Oilers get it back, and now it's stolen by Schwartz. Center ice to Oshie around Schmid. Here's Oshie to Backes. Oh, what a play! Backes makes it 4-2. Coined, Will.
Goes off the post.
1 hour 26 minutes 20. 1 hour.
There.
1 hour 20.
Around here.
1
hour.
1 hour. 1
Stolen.
A little bit of time.
1 hour 20.
Center ice to Oshie around Schmid. Here's Oshie to Backes. Icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got a bang play.
Just a wee bit. Absolutely.
Roman Polak just got his stick there.
Here's McDavid against Monahan, and McDavid has been talking to his wingers and defensemen for a while before this face-off. Now he's got the puck on his backhand. A better save on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey by Elliott.
In an Oilers silk.
Television pictures changed a little bit.
Just a wee bit. Absolutely.
Here's McDavid against Monahan, and McDavid had been...
But he made up for it, getting back quickly.
Off the face-off, Hemsky now for Whitney. Great pass in front. Gagne's wide open. That's for the slot. No one was there. Gagne really should have shot that.
What a pass by Whitney again. He has made some excellent plays with the puck.
Now Reeves around to Crackle. He was belted from behind. Oilers get it back. And then Peckham's shot was about 4 feet high. And then Hemsky, because of that icy call, the Blues couldn't make a line change, and now they're running around here. Oilers get it. Back on the line again for Whitney. Jones back of the goal, and then Russell steps in front of the Oiler player to break it up, right in front of Hemsky, and now it's finally lobbed away by Crackle.
Quick read there by Russell, and getting right in front of Hemsky. Otherwise, you give Hemsky a little bit of time, he gives you the 9 of hearts. Here he goes down.
Oilers for Sabotka and back. And now Redden has it. And around for Backus. Whitney pinches and the Blues get it. And it's Schwartz again for Oshie. Moves in a shot. That was blocked. Gets his own rebound against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang-bang play. Good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang-bang play. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Focus on the slot on the left side of your screen there. Roman got caught a little bit high, but he made up for it, getting back quickly.
Off the face-off, Hemsky now for Whitney. Great pass in front. Gunners get it away from Oshie. And now back for Gagne. Under 4 to play, third period. Here's Everly. 1-on-2 and a right pad save by Halak.
How good was Everly in the American Hockey League during the lockout? 25 goals in only 34 games played, and he's still fourth most in the American Hockey League
with 51 points. And the Blues on the attack. Crackle was talking about that this morning. They had quite the team in Oklahoma City, but the Rivermen did beat them one night. All those young stars were down in Oklahoma City.
Including Justin Schultz, the defenseman, who had 18 goals in only 34 games played. Amazing.
Even Taylor Hall was down there.
Yeah.
Now the Blues in their own zone. Pietrangelo. And then for Berglund. With 2:45 to go. Now Dubnik sets it up for Petrie. And Eager tips it back to center ice. Call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there.
Into the net at full speed. McDavid in the arm came up.
Interference penalty, and Edmonton's right back on the power play, which means Calgary's right.
A good stick there by
The big defenseman at the very end, that last push by Hamilton, tried to make it look inconspicuous, but into the net at full speed went McDavid and the arm came up.
Interference penalty, and Edmonton's right back on the power play.
Focused on the slot on the left side of your screen.
And out of midair, it's swatted away by Leonard in front. And it goes all the way down. This will be an icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang-bang play. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Focus on the slot on the left side of your screen there. Roman got caught a little bit high, but he made up for it, getting back quickly.
Off the face-off, Hemsky now for Whitney. Great pass.
6 letters. 1 hours 28 minutes 17. 1 hours 29 minutes 17.
Back of the goal, Backus in the area. Puck comes around. And turning is the veteran Ryan Smith. Chopped ahead. Ben Eager chopped down by Polak. And the Blues send it back into the Oilers zone.
Keep your eye on Devin Dubnyk. He looked like he was trying to communicate with the bench. Yes, Ralph Kruger is pulling the goaltender with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Coming up, Missouri Lottery Blues Live. 6 attackers here for Edmonton. Oshie gets it off the window and out. And now played by Whitney for Justin Schultz. 6 attackers. Here are the Oilers. Petrell comes in on the back check. And Petrangelo broke it up. Oilers will be an icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his the nick of time.
It turns on the Jets.
Eagers right in front of the net on a bang play.
Awareness. You have to know when Connor McDavid is on the ice and there's that blazing speed. And the shot block led to that opportunity by McDavid. And Jordan Eberle quickly recognized McDavid was away. And similar to the penalty shot in Edmonton on Wednesday, although that went to the forehand, but when he goes to the backhand, he's able to elevate that just over the pad of Brian Elliott. And not many people can do that at speed, and that is perfectly placed about 18 inches off the ice and off the post and in.
Is hit by Sabotka. And then in the corner, Polak ran Petrell to the ice. Oilers getting it out high. Quick shot. In a stick goes to the near corner. Grabbed by Gagne. Gagne backdoor feed for Jones. He was there.
He was looking towards the point. Justin Schultz, and he fired it right across.
And now Petrangelo knocks it down. Off the boards and out. And Whitney wins the foot race there against Chris Porter. With 70 seconds left here in the third period. Oilers tip it back in. And Halak sets it up for Jackman. Comes around. And it does roll to center ice. Final minute now in the third period. All the way down, this will be an icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang play. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Focus on the slot on the left side of your screen there. Roman got caught a little bit high, but he made up for it, getting back quickly.
Off the face-off, Hensky now for Whitney.
1 hour.
Jones. Defense now from Schwartz. Shot midair, swatted away by Dickel. And it goes all the way down. This will be an icing call against the Blues.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang play. A good stick there by the big fella, Roman. Focus on the slot on the left side of your screen there. Roman got caught a little bit high, but he made up for it.
1 hour 24 minutes. 1 hour 24.
Roman Polak just got his stick there in the nick of time. Otherwise, Eagers right in front of the net on a bang play.
The season this time round.
A good stick there by big fella Roman.
Are the linesmen, and we're ready for hockey for the first time in Rogers Place. Connor McDavid's on the ice with his new line mates, Milan Lucic on the left, Jordan Eberle on the right, Johnny Gaudreau, newly signed by the Calgary Flames, is on the ice with Sean Monahan, and their new right winger who is in
In front now, Yakupov. Up the middle. Eberle and backhand pass back in front now, Yakupov. The old Bob Klager flip shot. Eberle and backhand pass back in front now, Yakupov. Shoots it wide, Ryan Smith in front. Nugent Hopkins in the area, and there's Oshie again with that flipper. And back to center ice in the final 30 seconds.
When you work on things in practice.
And back to center ice in the final 30 seconds.
When you work on things in practice.
Here's Perron, and a shot. That was blocked. And then Sabotka, who it appears will get the game-winning goal tonight. Oilers get it back. 5 to go. And that'll do it. Kraftos shoots it down. Blues hit a season high with 43 shots, but can't solve the Bulin wall.
Goaltending is everything. There's no question about that. And Bobby Bulin was absolutely phenomenal in this game. The Blues will look back on this one and say, what just happened? There's parts of the game where the Blues just had to, I think earlier on in the game, knock Edmonton out of the box early, and they didn't do that. But our Bud Light player of the game is the Russian goaltender Nikolai Khabibulin. Why wouldn't it be him as the Edmonton Oilers get the goaltending they need? These are big saves early on as Steen breaks through. Before that, it was Tarasenko. Then a breakaway. David Perron, forehand, backhand. Great save right there while the score was close. And then David Backes comes out of the box and bang, another big save right there. So we don't have enough time to show every single great save of Khabibulin in this game, that's for sure.
That might take another half hour. Edmonton win it 3-0.
Welcome back inside Rexall Place, everyone, as we get set for the